So every year, I stand up here and give you a vision of the year to come, prepare you for it, usually with a word that has been given to me, and I hope to inspire a little greatness along the way. Last year, my message was about grit. We knew 2024 would be hard. The writing was on the wall. And we knew that it would take extraordinary substance and determination and commitment to endure. And we were right. The fact that you are here tonight means you were willing and able to push through what 100,000 other brokerages and agents could not. You know, I fight this process to a certain degree every year. I usually have something in mind that I want to talk about, and inevitably I'm given a different message to deliver. The truth is, we don't know what we'll be saying about 2025, about the market, how it shook out come this time next year. The good news, your message tonight and your success in the year to come doesn't depend on what the market does. When we are in a season of suffering or discomfort or unfamiliarity, we tend to wish it away. We hide from it. We just want to pull the covers over our head and fast forward to a time that we recognize, that we understand, that we enjoy, that we're comfortable in. There are certain inevitabilities in life that must be understood, and fully experiencing all of its seasons is one of them. We know that after every summer there is a fall and a winter, and that after every winter there is a inevitabilities. Life is full of them. We know that if you don't prepare in winter to plant in the spring, there won't be anything to tend come summer and nothing to harvest in the fall. Every season has a unique purpose, and our life seasons are no different. I guess I needed that reminder when I met an artist named Nate at the Palafox Market a couple of months ago. His gift and passion as an artist and for life was palpable. His tables were filled with captivating and whimsical wildlife subjects, an alligator dressed in pants and a top hat with a walking cane, a diva cockroach in a tutu and a boa dancing in the fridge light, and so many more. They reminded me of the characters from the Mother West Wind books that I so loved as a kid. Nate and I shared a few stories, and I looked around some more. And then I saw this drawing. Quite different from the others. I was so taken aback by the skill and the subject and the emotion of the drawing itself, I didn't notice at first the story written in his beard. Here's how it reads. There once was a gardener who planted his first tree. He loved it so much, he overwatered it and stared at it far too many hours in the day. He'd watch it as the sun went down, and he'd wake just to water it while he drank his morning coffee. One day, out of the blue, the tree began to die. Leaves began to turn brown and fall off. They fell so rapidly that the gardener panicked. He started to put the leaves back on the tree with tape, glue, whatever else he could find. He worked desperately to bring the tree back to life, but nothing seemed to work. After months of ideas had come and gone, he sat by the tree and he began to cry. He spent many days in great agony, wondering what he did to deserve the death of something so dear. Days on end, he'd awake with a pit in his stomach, and tears would fill his eyes as he watched the sunset at night. Some months and many days had passed, and it seemed just as soon as he had counted his losses, he stepped outside to find bright lime green bulbs covering his tree. In that moment, he realized his tree was alive, and that it was just as alive in the winter months as it had been all summer. It was never dead, it was only winter. As he stood there staring at his beloved tree, he saw himself in the tree. And this thought came to him: everything has seasons, and so too must I. I looked up at Nate, tears welling in both of our eyes. I just handed him my money without even asking how much the picture was. It didn't matter. He handed me my change, and I left, changed. Certainly not my first encounter with the word or the larger concept of life seasons. But man, did it hit different. Life really is just a collection of seasons. A season of plenty, a season of scarcity, a season of grief, a season of love, a season of grit, a season of healing, a season of loss, a season of new life, of wins, of setbacks, of friendship, of loneliness, of joy, of grief. We all have them. They are an inevitable and defining part of our life's journey. And yet, none of them define us on their own. It is the collection of our seasons, and more importantly, how we respond to them, that make up the stuff of our life. The trick is not to miss the lesson, opportunities, and gifts of the one you're in, hiding under the covers and wishing for next. We have been through a rough season in the real estate industry for sure. The last 4 years or so of our real estate market have pretty closely mirrored the weather here in Pensacola. It's either been hot or cold. And our recent bitter winters in both have been, shall we say, historic. When interest rates soared to new levels and suppressed affordability to lows we haven't seen in decades, it squelched the fiery demand, especially among younger and first-time home buyers, so much so that it drove the median home buyer age to 56 years old, a historic high. We went from big demand, no supply, to big supply, relatively, no demand, in a matter of 12 months. 2024 reported the lowest number of sales in 40 years nationally. 2023 was the second lowest. Add to that, our entire way of doing business changed overnight, mid-year. Now, we knew it was coming. We were prepared. Aren't you glad? And it was still hard. There was and still is much confusion, misdirection, and difficulty, and there is no doubt going to be more coming for some. What purpose did it serve for you? What has the last year of grit and sandblasting produced for you? Diamonds need pressure. Gold needs fire. And we already know no grit, Even a butterfly must first spend part of its life as a worm. Seasons, we all have them, and they all have a purpose. There have been and will be many fire and gold references tonight. Purifying gold through fire is a much used biblical analogy. From Malachi to 1 Peter to Proverbs to Job, we are reminded that testing under extreme circumstances is something people of faith must endure. And it's a good analogy for what we've been through as well, and for who you are becoming. To be clear, I'm not a goldsmith, and what I understand about the process of purifying or proving gold is fascinating. The rocky ore is pulled out of the earth. This is gold intermixed with other minerals and materials, impurities that must be removed for it to be at its best, its most valuable. A refiner's fire must be exceptionally hot. Water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Gold melts at 2,000. The extreme heat brings the impurities to the surface, impurities that are then scraped off, and the gold is cooled. Then the process is repeated again and again and again and again until the desired purity is reached. 10 carat, 14, 18, 24 carat. The higher the carat, the more refining and scraping and time in the fire is needed. Anyone out there feeling a little 24 carat tonight? With few exceptions, the character of any subject changes under extreme heat. If you're an egg, you come out hard. A carrot, you go limp. Water vaporizes entirely given enough time. Not so with gold. The heat only serves to burn off its impurities. So the hotter it burns, the longer it burns, the better it gets. That's how you know you've got the good stuff, the real deal, a proven product, like all of you. My bracelet says, "He knows the way I have taken. When he has tested me, I will come forth as gold." Job 23:10. We will have one for everyone here tonight at intermission. Truly, we have been tested with the refiner's fire of 2 historically difficult years, scraped by the market and demand decline, high rates, low affordability, and the lock-in effect of existing mortgages. We've endured attacks on the character of our profession and the scrutiny of every conversation, document, and transaction. Then we had to redefine how we did business. And we did not hide from it. We have paved our own path forward in this fiery and difficult landscape, one of integrity and above reproach. We launched headfirst and full steam into the firestorm, and it has both tested and revealed your true character to make you incredibly valuable. The Bible has something else to teach us about gold, a warning in the form of a story, and it's a story that has great meaning for us in this moment. In Matthew chapter 25, Jesus tells a story about a man who gives different amounts of gold to his servants. He gives to each based on their ability. The faithful servants invest the gold and double it. The servant who hides his gold in the ground is cast out. You might have heard this called the parable of the talents. Parables are stories, analogies really, that provide lessons on how we should handle the challenges of life. The bags in the story were filled with gold coins called talents. And we all understand the other meaning of the word talents, giving the story a much more personal meaning. Listen again, using the word talents in place of gold. Jesus tells a story about a man who gives different amounts of talents to his servants. He gives to each based on their ability. The faithful servants invest their talents and double them. The servant who hides his talents in the ground is cast out. You see, the parable is really about honoring our responsibilities and using our talents, be they money, time, relationships, for opportunities to serve others. It's as Luke 12:48 tells us, to whom much is given, much is expected. You have walked through the fire and been proven gold. Don't hide from it. Don't throw it away. Don't discount the value of what you are becoming, especially given the extraordinary effort to prove and refine a 24-karat you. You have paid the price to be here. Redeem it. Believe in and invest your talents well. This is your season, and it will not be defined by the market of the moment. It just doesn't matter. Whatever the market is, it will be for everyone. Like any season, it's only what you do with it that counts. Use it for good. Don't squander it. You have earned this. This is your time to shine. This is exactly how legends are made.